Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Kay. I want to tell you a little bit about my experiences with the program. All right, so before I started the program, my masculinity, my sex drive, it was always there, but I always felt like I could, take it to the next level, and I just needed some help on how to get to that next level because there's like so much information about this stuff, but due to my lack of time, I needed some help with it, so that's why I enrolled in the program. Um, Personally for me, because I'm a student, particularly I go to medical school. So what I needed in terms, with this specific program was something that really helped my focus, my mental energy, and obviously, as a side bonus, my masculinity, my sexual drive. Because for me, it's all about how focused and energetic can I be mentally in terms of getting my work done. Um, so I've definitely noticed the difference there. Like my thought process is a lot more clear. I have more of an attention span. Um, my clarity of thought is there. Also, just like when I interact with people in the hospital, um, my presence is a lot more different because since I feel that energy within me, I'm sure that other people around me, they can pick it up. They can see that when you have that little bit more of that energy within you, that your intent is there. Your body language is a little bit more better because it's just internally you feel it, so they see it. So for me, that's the major key for me, how the program has benefited me. But in terms of specific in energy levels, like my physical energy levels, that's increased too, to the point that I've always been a person who's working out, lifting, but it's just that sometimes you need a little bit more of that boost when you're just like, man, I gotta get to the fucking gym. So since like my baseline energy is a little bit higher than normal, it's so much easier to go to the gym because what's the hardest part, right? The hardest part is not actually working out. The hardest part is getting your ass to the gym sometimes. And definitely like because right now I have a rotation of 3 girls, so my sex drive, I told you guys it's always been pretty good, but now it's kind of like it's at another level where it's just like it's not even just the sex drive, but when I interact with my girls, it's just that since I have more focus, I pay attention a little bit more to what they say. Like I look at them with that that strong eye contact. I have that energy to have the patience for whatever nonsense they're mentioning. So they pick up on it. Our interactions have been being a lot better. So as a process with that, the sex is getting better too because they say, oh, he's listening. It seems like he's caring. So particularly for me, I've never had a problem with like erectile dysfunction or stuff like that. It's actually a few times when I drink, and I drink a little bit too much. I don't get whiskey I get the opposite, where it's kind of like I get a boner, but it's just that I don't feel it when I'm having sex with girls. So one particular thing that the program does talk about is how alcohol, affects your body, your testosterone. So for me, it was just that I was just not feeling it with alcohol. So I had to figure out like a way of like how do I balance out drinking a little bit, but still when I have sex with my girls, like how do I still feel it and it's still pleasurable, because you don't want to rely on something like alcohol, which is like it's a poison for your body, so it's just like for you it might improve your ability to communicate with people, but in the long term, it's something not that you don't want to do. So it's better to do something where you fix your sleeping habits, your eating habits. That way your mentality changes, and you just have a different outlook, and then you interact with people better than relying on something like alcohol. So before, another problem for me was my sleep quality wasn't as good as I wanted. I'd feel like sometimes since like my mind is racing a little bit, I couldn't fall asleep at a time I wanted, and because of that, I wake up a little bit more groggy. But now it's just that like since my mind is a little bit more focused with how my thought process is, and the different ideas that the program gives you. So another good thing is that the program kind of gives you different ways to approach a situation, because one thing doesn't always work for people, and then the other great thing is everything is simple enough to apply. Especially for a person like me, that's kind of like you know since I come from a science background too, I trust the information that's given to me. So it's kind of like, I don't need to verify everything else. I trust it, and it's quick enough that I can apply it. We live in a day and age where there's so much information. So you just want to, learn it and just do it because you want results, right? So specifically, nothing was really hard to integrate in the program because when you're bought in, you're just like, I want the results. I want to get better. You execute the ideas in the program. It's really not that hard. And if you're someone who's really struggling with your eating habits, your lifting, that's why the program has a method for you where you can go gradually. And even when you go gradually, you're going to notice it because you've been doing certain things so wrong for so long that once you actually start doing these things, in a few days you'll see it. Especially for me, I started seeing the results in 2-3 days because I've done these things before, but it's kind of like I didn't know the proper way to maintain discipline in doing it. And it's kind of like sometimes, when you've done something, you're just like, wait, what did I do that, gave me more energy or gave me more focus? Something so I would forget. So that's why, the program's so good because it reinforces in your head, okay, you do this, you're going to get this result. You do this, it's going to come. So for also in the gym, definitely my lifts have increased, my bench has increased, my squats increased, because it's just like for me, I just have more energy in general. So when I have more energy in general, I can last longer in the gym, lift more weights, and I don't feel as sore. That's another major thing. Sometimes it's just like sometimes you just feel like you're just like crumpling up. So just for me, what's most important from the program is just not just the energy levels, but just like almost my interactions with people. Like they can tell, like you're just like they can tell from your body language how you project your voice because from internally you just have more energy, and when you have more energy, you have a little bit more patience, you have more focus. So when you talk to someone, you can give them your full attention. You're a little bit more open-minded because you're just like, you just feel internally so much better, and you're just like, wow, these things actually work. So, that's some of my experiences with it. So, I hope to talk to you guys about it more soon. Thanks.